What's up, guys? How you guys doing? How are you guys today? Good morning. Good morning. Ooh, dude, it's cold. It's freezing. 85? That's insane, bro. Shit, I don't think it's bad here. It's just I think the AC's it's 77 here. It's not bad. What's up, guys? How you guys doing? How was it yesterday? How'd you guys do yesterday? Look at this. Man, a rough day yesterday. How it looks like for you guys? I mean, this Zoom could have been amazing. Oh my god. And it looks like, right now, seems like we're going to pop here a little bit and then we're going to get a continuation down for Zoom. So, maybe another short for Zoom coming. Um, so like a 10-point move, that would have been bad. That would have been good, actually. No, wait. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Man, this would have been another 100K day. That's funny. Zoom would have been amazing again. That's crazy. It was so easy too, guys. Look, oh my god. Uh, Tell me you guys traded this. Come on, we talk about this all the time. All the time. We talk about this every day, man. Every single day. What's up with Tesla, man? Let's go, James. You fucking goat. It's all good, man. It is what it is, right? At the end of the day, it's like no stress, right? It's you gotta understand the fact that guess what, the market's not going anywhere, and missed opportunity is a missed opportunity. But at the same time, just gotta make sure that you try not to miss the next one, right? That's it. That's all we can do. Zoom puts and then call. Yeah, yeah. Honestly, I would say, trade the first move. Don't even worry about the second one. Like the reason I did it here was because look, when did it do it? Look, literally before 10. It literally made the move at like 9:45. So it was like 15 minutes in. That's the only reason I bought calls here. On a day like this where it's just going sideways, you're kind of setting yourself up to fail because the problem is when you buy calls for this, what's going to happen is it's going to go sideways and your calls are going to actually lose money. So then when you do break to the downside and you do cut losses, let's say you cut losses here, you're going to take a bigger loss than guess what you would normally do. So rather than doing that, even though this trade would have worked out to the upside, but still, right? Don't do it. Just there's no point in kind of taking along when it's going sideways or it's going because then usually when it does stuff like this, I would say focus a little bit more onto the downside, right? Because big move down and then a continuation usually, right? So that's what you want to look for. But it wanted to kind of trap people. So you should at least watch this line. As soon as the stock would have gotten above, I would say 422s, guess what, cut losses, simple as that. And then of course,
Right here.
wait for it to come back down and move down a little bit lower, just like this right here. The reason it did that today, this pre-market, was because of continuation. Look, right, see a big move down and then a continuation. And then hopefully we'll see a nice little bounce here, or just a continuation from here. But with Zoom, seems like if it holds below 405, man, it's gonna be a nice little sell-off, and it wouldn't be bad, right? We'll watch that. It seems like the market wants to kind of hold here today. Basically, what the kind of catalyst for me for the market is that market probably is going to be maybe a hold and then a bounce up, and then we'll see how it wants to deal with yesterday's highs. Other than that, I would say guys, look, what do we say, man? A lot of people don't believe you when you tell them that the market is at all-time highs, right? They think that the drop for the market is coming, which is understandable. But the problem is there's no drop in sight, guys. Right? One of the big things. What did the CDC say yesterday? Apparently, somebody posted in the chat. They're saying that in October we're gonna get literally vaccines to apparently states are gonna be able to distribute vaccine by end of October, which is stupid. And same thing. Guess what? We already called that out. Like usually by October, these diseases and stuff like swine flu, stuff like coronavirus 1, stuff like Ebola, stuff like any of these, usually by it usually affects you harder in the first couple of months when it starts off, and then guess what? It starts to get weakened. Even the viruses usually get weak. Because we learn how to treat it, and then simply by like October or September it usually goes away and nobody cares about it. Like even right now, I bet all of you guys don't care about kind of hand sanitizing your hands every time you get into your car. Literally, dude, in March, I'm not even gonna lie, I was doing that every time I would open my car door handle. I'd be like, oh, dude, sanitize, right? And then guess what, every time I'd get in, sanitize your hands and stuff like that. So stuff like that. So just make sure that that's the thing. But for now, market nice downtrend. When it breaks this downtrend, hopefully we'll get a nice little move above these moving averages. And you know what that basically means. Usually once we cross these too many times, guys, it's a sideways day. So that's a big thing for the market today, guys. I'm looking at it mostly for the sideways action rather than anything to hold or anything like that. So I'm gonna warn you guys right now, today probably is gonna be a sideways day. Apple, did you say, bro? Yeah, look at that. Yeah, same thing with Apple, man. This holds 127s and 128s, right? It's gonna get that little pop up toward the 131s and even 133s if it just holds. But the problem is, right, it needs to hold, and of course the market needs to help. And if the market doesn't help, then everything kind of washes below. Then we'll wait to see how it reacts under 127. But most likely a hold here for Apple, maybe a little wash to kind of trap people in, kind of making them think it's about to break, and then gets for a reversal up toward 128, 129. Maybe even the 130s, and then we're gonna have to see if it holds a 50 EMA here on the 5-minute chart and rips up toward the 131. Other than that, let me actually fix this chart right here. Yeah. Yeah, with Apple, 128s. Yeah, for now, I would say kind of a retrace gap fill toward the 131s. I would want to watch for rather than more to the downside. But of course, Apple got this whole little range toward the 125, so it can easily just come back down toward the 125s and then try to find direction and hold here. So maybe, an early short under here and then, toward the 125s and then a reversal all the way back up toward the, 131s and, even a sideways day, man. Everything is caught between these big candles. Usually what we get, in here is simply, a couple of candles to the sideways, something like this, where that's not really a good example because it's actually a pretty good candle right there. But usually, once a candle gets stuck right here, look, just like this, in a big candle, right, that has a big range, what happens is you get these like small little range right here candle, which just goes sideways. And then, then there's the third candle, and then usually the fourth one is the one that breaks out. So, today and tomorrow, for, I would say even for Apple, you want to watch, guess what? A little bit of a sideways action, or, maybe even, a drop and then a hold and, move up toward the 131 gap fill. And then guess what? Maybe tomorrow or the day after that, we'll see that little break either to the downside. And then, of course, if it wants to break under 125 today, right, and actually hold, guess what? Then we're going to, see that continuation down and finally have this thing come back down and, test maybe 120s and, even the 100s. Doku. Yeah, with Doku, same thing, guys. Right, trying to basically wait for this thing to hold. And if this thing holds, guess what? Yeah, if Doku holds here, guess what? We're going to see a nice little move up toward the 270s, I'd say. Simple as this, right, guys? We have this little 265 right here, right? Same thing, inside candle day. All it is this, right? Right now it's toward the lows right here, 151s. So what we're going to have to see is if it holds this, 251, because it's already broken the lows, people are going to get trapped, right? Basically kind of trying to short this thing. So if they get trapped, and they get squeezed, they're going to get squeezed to 260s first. And then, of course, if 260s hold and jumps up toward the 265s, we'll be there to long this thing. So, watch this for a nice little bounce to the upside. And then we're going to have to see, if it comes back down under the 260s and holds, and then we're going to see a nice little drop toward the 240s, right? So, first bounce, and then, we're going to have to think about shorting this thing. So, initial move, I would say, watch for the long side. And then, of course, after like 30 minutes or, a little bit later on the day, we're going to see this thing drop probably. If it doesn't hold this, 260s or even 265s. Okay. And man, Cat has literally zero volume, but Cat's all-time highs. I would say, if Cat holds 149.50s, because these low volume days and, low volume stocks, guys, honestly, being honest, with stocks like this, usually they don't work out just like how we would say Apple would work out and how a lot of these other, stocks would work out, because simply these stocks are, built and designed to be, these things are basically designed to be, a little bit low volume and low liquidity. So what happens is, right, even if it does break out, it's probably going to trap people and then come back down. So just watch out for that. Other than that, if it just opens up, above, 149.50s and holds above 150, guess what? This thing's going to open up and it's going to go all the way up to 155. So, 155 target if it, holds above 150 and 149.50. So, this is going to be a big level to watch. But, it seems very easy right now. So that's why I'm a little bit more hesitant in, watching this stock, too closely, simply because it seems very, very easy that it's going to just basically hold above 150 and just rip up to 155. So, still watch the market. If the market holds in, guess what? We're going to see a nice little move to the upside. That's not going to be bad. But other than that, if it wants to just do that trap thing and, do that sideways thing and, form a bull flag, guess what, guys? It's going to come all the way down toward yesterday's lows, 147s and even 148s. So a nice little sell-off can be, in order to. Oh, Doku got earnings there. Insane, man. Doku's got earnings. That's wild. And TC. And TC is getting rejected from the 50 EMA. Guys, what do we say? All right? Tell me we didn't say this thing. All right, right here. This is how swing trading works, guys. Simple as that. You're supposed to long a stock right here, simply 150s, right, and ride it all the way up to 153s. But now we're gonna have to see for continuation, right? Basically, what we're looking for is to support this 52 level here on the basically pre-market on the 50 EMA, and actually hold, these little, basically kind of, I would say even this, yeah. So I think this will be a better level to hold. Basically, if it holds this basically 52 level, maybe it wants to sell off a little bit under it just to trap a little bit more people. Other than that, if this holds 52 level, then we're going to see this nice way all the way up toward the 54 levels, and then see, then come back down and touch the 50 EMA again toward the 52 level on the daily side. So watch this thing to kind of hold here, 52, and then guess what? A nice little move to the upside with INTC. INTC seems very nice too. Tesla, the same situation with Apple, guys. From what I'm looking at. Yeah, same type of situation. Look, 414s, it's literally at the lows. The problem here is this, that, it's got this little buyer wick. You know what that means? That basically means if buyers came in here once, they'll come in here twice too. So make sure to kind of, watch this a little bit to the, long side as well, guys. Simply, if it breaks the lows of 404, guess what? Don't even touch it, honestly. There's nothing, to kind of worry about this stock. And then, of course, if it does hold, though, then we're going to see a nice little move up and over the 50 EMA, hold here toward the 415s, and then we're going to see this all the way up toward the 450s even, if it holds nicely, right? So first target will be at least 437. So for the bounce, because just to tell you guys, same thing, right? If the buyers came in here once, they can come in here again, and they can come in here strong, right? So that's one of those things. We're gonna have to see, how it does that fake break, or even if it doesn't, or it doesn't do it. So one of those big things is that we're gonna have to see. Simply, the stock market is buying and selling, guys. So all it is that, even people like me, I understand that. Guess what? There were buyers on this level yesterday, so why wouldn't there be buyers on this level today? Right? Simple as that. So when the market opens, we're gonna have to see, how it reacts around here toward the lows of yesterday, and then if it breaks the lows and heads down, don't touch it, of course. And then if it starts holding the lows, then we're gonna have to see, how far can we take this to the upside. Of course, if it just keeps selling, then it just keeps selling, right? What are we gonna do? Guys, I think we're moving a little bit fast toward these. Roku. Yeah, Roku, same thing, guys. Oh, dude, Roku's the same situation as Apple, Tesla, and Roku. Yeah, same situation, right? Let's see if buyers come back in here, right, toward the 172s, and then hold, and then guess what? We're gonna see a nice little move up toward the 180s. And of course, if it doesn't want to do that and it wants to just break the lows of 171, 172, then we'll just ride it down. Other than that, for now we're gonna hold this, above the VWAP, and hold up toward 175, and then of course if 175 holds, then we'll see 177, and then of course if that holds, then we're gonna see toward the 180s in the next couple of days. We're gonna see this Roku literally to 200, guys. Simple as that. But this would have been amazing short for me yesterday, which is kind of insane that I wasn't in it, man. Damn. It's all good. We should have, could have, would have, many, many times. All right. 445. Yeah, Zoom. Okay, yeah, we just talked about this thing. Yeah, look, see guys, it's selling off right now, right? So watch this thing, toward the lows here, right? If it wants to do this little gap fill to yesterday's close, it's going to probably do that with the bounce of the market. Guys, everything depends on the market, right? If the market wants to lose it here and just kind of, sell off in the beginning and then kind of rebuttal, a little bit later on in the day, then we're going to watch everything to the short side, just like we said. But other than that, the market should bounce here very soon. Either way, you got the two, 35.50. So maybe a quick down move and then, a support and then, a nice little bounce up toward the, 35.68. So that's what we're looking for. And then the same thing with Zoom, right? Same thing with Zoom. Look, a nice little move down toward the, 30.80s even, it can easily do that. Or even, 396 will be the first target, I would say. 395. I would say kind of, watch for momentum, right? Simple as that, guys. After this little bounce, right, on Zoom, what we're going to see is we're going to wait for momentum and see, how further it can go down. But, Zoom does seem pretty weak right now, after losing yesterday's, basically footing like this. So, it already did bounce toward the, 8.13s or 8.11. So all of these buyers are, kind of, are getting drained out. So, so most likely we'll see a nice little move down. Hopefully it just doesn't happen in pre-market, which it seems like it's about to do, which is stupid, but, we'll see this nice little, move to the downside for Zoom again, continuation. But, other than that, if we get a bounce, then we'll kind of see, and wait for the bounce to kind of bounce and then come back down. So, bounce to short it. We'll have to come back and check on Zoom. I just kind of feel bad. And then be a continuation to the upside, very simple. Guess what? Text week, we got BA continuation holding the 50 EMA on the daily. And then we're going to see a nice little move to the upside, guys. Simple as that. BA continuation toward, I would say, 178 is the level. Simply because, look, right here, these two. I was actually looking at this before you guys, literally now I kind of look at stocks literally around, 8 to 8.30 and that's where I was looking at. So, BA long, to 178. Then that's the same thing with, guess what? AAL, airlines, every airline. Look, DAL, right? So everything, kind of watching to the long side for now, for airlines, right? Everything to just hold and then just rip up toward the 32. Now that Apple, Tesla, are kind of going through that sell cycle on the, simple options and, for moving too high up there, even with Zoom and all of that, guess what? Now we might be able to see the rotation and, airlines come in and everything, just buy the crap out of airlines. And, we'll see a nice, amazing move on airlines in the next couple of weeks or months, right? So UAL, from what I'm heard, right? Same thing, man. Airlines, same thing. I would say watch airlines to the upside. If BA holds and rips up, guess what? These will follow. For BA right now, we're a little bit too late, but most likely BA will continue here. I've seen BA do this many times and just, hold, yesterday's, highs and guess what? Rip up just like it did right here. So, all BA has to do now is just stay above, pre-market highs, hold here, and then just continue toward the 178. So, BA will be a nice little watch to the long side as well. Guys, NVIDIA was very, very weak. Because I was watching this thing at 560s, this literally, not even 560s, bro. I was watching this at like 565s this morning, which is insane. And I was freaking definitely should have shorted this toward the, oh my God. I hate this. That's insane, man. This is where the, yeah, well, what are you going to do? Okay, so see, same thing as, Apple, Tesla, and all of them, right? Simply yesterday's lows. If it holds yesterday's lows and holds below it, guess what? We're going to see a nice little continuation on NVIDIA. So NVIDIA and Zoom will be like the main watches to the downside, I would say, for it to hold below, 554. we're gonna need to, have this kind of move up a little bit for now, right? Of course, a hold below 554 wouldn't be a bad idea, but you know, Nvidia and Zoom were the main ones, kind of watching to the downside for today, because these things look like, these can go pretty much. Yeah, man, these things can, yeah. Of course, guys, watch the buyers here, right? Look how much buyers came in, right? So just watch the buyers as well. So, wait for the bounce and then maybe, pop to short, guess what? To the downside. Other than that, continuation below 554 will be a nice little continuation toward even the 540s, 530s, maybe even lower. But, other than that, it seems pretty weak right now. But, first thing, we don't want to be too biased. So, we're also going to look for a bounce. Basically, just like if the market bounces, just like Tesla bounces, Apple bounces, guess what? Nvidia probably will bounce with it. So we're gonna have to watch for that to the upside, and then if it does bounces, then we're gonna have to see even toward here. It can go up all the way up as 571s, 572s, and then come back down, and then go all the way down toward the $500 right mark, which is right here, which is what we were kind of looking at in the previous couple of days. So and then it can also go all the way down toward the 480s and stuff like that. But so watch that Nvidia to the downside, but also be careful of the longs coming in here around the 555 and then pushing this up toward the 560s. It had a crazy run up. What had a crazy run up? Guys, yesterday was an amazing short day. Nvidia, that's wild, man. Cisco? Yeah, let's do Cisco, bro. Give me a second. Dude, this stock is ugly as hell. I'm sorry, bro, but Cisco Systems, they're already making a move down. The short was at 42.30s. This is just like UAL. It's probably making a move earlier on today, but it's at 42.35. I mean, honestly, it is holding above all of this sport right now. So if it holds this 42.37s right here, I mean, it's holding actually below it right now. So if it stays below $42, guys, it can literally sell off all the way down to $40 and 40 cents. But the problem is, most likely still going to be inside day, and then finally the day that it breaks is probably going to be kind of going to come through out of nowhere. So watch this. I would say kind of a sideways thing for now. Because once it does break this little channel to the downside, or even like this little kind of channel right type here, right? So under 42, as long as it stays under 42, watch this for a short to the downside, right? Not going to be a big mover, so maybe toward the 41.50s, 41.60s, or even $41, because if it wants to bounce from 41.60s, guess what? It can easily do that. And then, of course, the thing is, if it breaks down and actually breaks 41.50s, guess what? We're going to see this all the way down to 40s, right? And then, of course, if that breaks, then we're going to see this all the way down to the $32 mark, for the swing, if you want to take that. But, just watch this to the downside, I would say, under $42. SQ is selling off heavy. Man, everything sold off so nicely yesterday. That's actually insane. And I wasn't here. That's messed up. Yeah. SQ does that, crazy, ugly move. Okay. Well, SQ the same thing, right, guys? A nice little downtrend right now. It's below yesterday's close. if it literally holds this 158 level and it holds below it, guess what? We're going to short this thing down toward the 155s even, because, guess what? At open, we're going to have this little trend line going all the way down toward the 556. So 156 will be your target, or even 155 if it wants to kind of go sideways a little bit. So 156 just to be safe, target that for SQ, to the downside, and then maybe a bounce. So watch for those bounces too, guys. It seems like it's that dangerous day where it's going to be a nice down and then just a bounce back up. So be careful with that. And then, of course, if it holds below 155 or 156 and that trend line, guess what? We're going to see this little thing, sell off all the way down toward, 155s and, 152s. And then, a nice little bounce up in the next couple of days. Try to continue the trend to the upside. Shop. Man, I hate trading this stock. This stock is so ugly, but, it's so much money to be made on it sometimes. It's insane. Same thing, man. A continuation sell-off right now. I would say, for shop, I'd be a little bit more on the bias of, kind of bouncing toward the 60s and then holding the 60s and then seeing if it wants to go up toward the 1080s. Other than that, it is, sideways day, guys. Just like we said, right? If the market wants to go sideways, shop will go sideways. A lot of stuff will go sideways. So just watch, watch for stuff to go sideways. That's about it, honestly. OSTK finally selling off. Well, OSTK short was here 108. That's insane, man. Well, it seems like OSTK wants to continue that sell-off, just like Zoom there a little bit. So, watch yesterday's close right here. Guys, if it holds this $78 mark, right, if it holds under there, guess what? We're going to see a nice little move down toward the $76. Right, so 76.20s are the 50 EMA on the daily. So watch for that tag if you want, right? And then of course, if it sells off below that, guess what? It's gonna continue down toward the $60. If it wants to do that NKLA or FSLY type of move. But other than that, guess what? If it catches support right here, guess what? It's gonna be a nice little bounce up, and a hold above the WRAP and then a hold above the 50, and it's probably gonna rip toward the $83 mark. So basically short this under 78. Long this, a hold over 78. That's it. Simple as that. Very algorithmic moving type of stock. And there it goes. James, what do you talk about this piton, brother? Look, one tag, two tag, and then a rip above it. And then guess what? Oh my God, dude, you're doing good. And now we're in that little move of guess what? That squeeze territory move. Simple as that. Right now, honestly, I wouldn't be too worried about kind of, taking this off or anything like that. Where you want to get worried about taking this off, if any of you guys are long for this, like long term or something, I would say, under like 60, 75 bucks, because the problem is if this thing has that, crazy squeeze move, just like Apple or Tesla, from what we have seen on Zoom and stuff like that, guess what? This is going to go to 100 easy. 100? Yo, am I seeing this right? Well, yeah, 100. Okay. Dude, I saw 120 and I was like, okay, is it supposed to be 200? Okay. But, it's going to go to the 100 and then, then maybe we'll see a little bit of rejection or even a rip above, 100, 105 and then, come back down. Earning soon? Oh, dude. That's going to be dangerous, bro. Yeah, watch this, Facebook down toward 295s. Basically here, guys, simply in this area. And if it holds this area, right, then we're going to have to watch for direction, honestly. With Facebook, there isn't really too good of a direction move right now. Because, look, it is kind of forming like this like bull flag type situation. But the problem is, if it wants to really sell off, it's going to sell off all the way down toward the, 290s, fake people down, and then rip back up. So, watch Facebook for that because Facebook is usually very trappy and ugly. So watch this carefully. But that's about it, right? Anything else, guys? UNH? Yeah, UNH just seems like it wants to continue to the upside there. If it holds this, 320s, anything to hold above, 322s, guess what? We're gonna see a nice little move up toward the even 324s or even, 323s. So, I don't know how much it can move up because it has a little bit lower volume, and I've never traded this stock above, but it has room up to all the way up toward the 325s and, higher. So looking at mostly, I would say, watching a little bit of NVIDIA, watching a little bit of Zoom, watching a little bit of, um, Tesla. Mainly these are the watches, even Apple, Tesla and Apple for a little bit of a balance, and, where, watching Zoom and NVIDIA for a sell-off. Probably not going to play every single play. I'm going to be watching a lot today because it seems like the market wants to go sideways a little bit today. But other than that, I wouldn't say, something, crazy, out of the ordinary, but, also watching BA for this, long continuation if it holds, I mean, they already hit 176. So, we're going to have to see, how much further of a pullback we get and then, see if it wants to rip up above, 178 and go to 180s or even, basically break this 176. So, watching that to the long side, I would say. Also, keeping an eye on INTC mainly. Because guess what? Look, what do we say about INTC hold $52, rip up toward the $54? If it comes into range, we're gonna see this nice little rip up. So that'd be another one. But that's about it, guys. Guys, we already do Doku, right? Didn't we? Yeah, for Doku. Right, like same thing with Doku, right? And BA, a nice little move up. I had to look at my notes there for a second. But Doku, a nice little move up toward the 270s wouldn't be a bad idea. And Amazon right now is being ugly. Amazon needs to hold this 84 and move up. But if it stays below 34.87, guess what? We're gonna see this move all the way down, and then we'll see a nice little sell off on Amazon. So also keep Amazon a little bit on the watch as well, guys. But if it sells off too fast, then we're not gonna be able to get in, so no problem. But basically watching for the market to get that bounce and stuff like that. And see what the market wants to do. And if market wants to just kind of crazy sell off, then we're going to see these, short plays work out. And then, of course, if it doesn't want to, then we're going to look at some of our longer, kind of bouncer plays, right? Apple, Tesla, and stuff like that. And also, BA and TC, so, stuff like that. But we're going to end it there, guys. You guys have an amazing day. I'll be in the chat. See you guys in